Hi, PinkCraftyMama here, and I am joining the rather large group of lovely ladies taking part in the new old series for the love of homemade kits, which was around, I can't remember when they stopped, but they did it for a while and then they stopped, and now it's back by popular demand and I'm playing along. So started back last month, so I do believe there's a January playlist if you want to go on back and look at that, but I'm jumping in now. I thought I'd sit back and watch for a while before I got my feet wet. Anyway, we get a recipe to follow and it's just inspiration, so it's all good if we're not exactly exact. And if you've seen any of my CKC kit share videos, my kits tend to be rather ample. This is February's one, and we're starting out with, I don't know if you can read this, so just in case you can, I will put it here and hopefully I have remembered everything. So the first item is a large multicolored floral. Now it doesn't give you quantities, which is kind of good and kind of not good. I'm exercising quite a bit of self-restraint, I mean more so than usual. So anyway, there's this guy, this is an Amy Tangerine, and then there's 3 from Cocoa Vanilla Studio from various lines. And so I kind of picked the colours of the kit based on these. These were the inspiration or whatever. So 2 very usable B-sides and 2 more very usable B-sides. Happy with that. And they all sort of go with each other. Not every paper is going to go with every other paper, and I'm good with that. This is the bit where I went, 3 sheets of cardstock. I don't use a whole lot of cardstock for backgrounds or for maybe as photo mats or cut files, but that's about it. With Sarah Scrap's new mixed media class, I'm using a little bit more, but even then I still generally prefer to do it on pattern paper. So I've compromised a little bit. I've got a dotted Swiss, which is textured, so it doesn't quite feel, I mean, that's the other thing. If I am going to use cardstock, I like textured cardstock. So there's this guy. Then there's this one, and this one is just a navy, no idea who makes it, and it is completely flat. So I think I will mix mediarize this one. And then these are my almost cardstocks. They're sort of tone-on-tone papers, which I'm picking them for the tone-on-tone side, although let's be real, I'll probably use the other one too. But yeah, they're going to be standing in as cardstock. So, here we go. Now this looks a bit crazy busy, but again, it'll probably be the other side I'm using, or even just a little bit. Amy Tan, Dear Lizzie, and more Cocoa Vanilla. I may use a little bit of this side. Next, text background paper. I picked a few in different styles. So Cocoa Vanilla, more Cocoa Vanilla, and more Cocoa Vanilla in 3 different Free Spirit. No, 2 from Free Spirit and 1 from Unforgettable. This one would be good with cutting out some of these elements, but we'll see what happens. And the backs are also really good. They work with all the colours. And this has got a bit of a cut apart, which I don't think the recipe asked for, and I often use a lot of, so yeah, might use some of that. Pattern with at least 3 colours, well, yeah. So Chamel, slightly older one from Crate Paper, Cute Girl line, Cocoa Vanilla, Echo Park, again another older one, the Creative Agenda. So there's 4 of those, and they can be sort of cut into chunks depending on which colours I need, or just, I really like a strip of the rainbow. This one, I thought I could just cut some of these elements and maybe stitch down some of the joins. I don't know, let's do it. And the B-sides, all very usable, and they all go with the other papers. Grid or ledger, so I've got 2 of each. 2 grids, 2 ledgers. Dear Lizzie, I believe. Bright Side, which is quite a bit older from my mind's eye, 2012, and Cocoa Vanilla. And the backs, again, they all go, and oh look, there's a bonus text print. Here are some cheat extra papers. There wasn't anything, like I mentioned before, about cut aparts, and I need cut aparts. I just do. So there's this one, and this one, both from Pink Fresh Studio, Joyful Day. When I go through the embellishments, they call for labels, so that's what I thought this one could be used for. So that one's not entirely an extra cheap sort of a one. These ones just, yeah, work fine with everything else, but I'm not sure that I'm going to use that side. Okay, now these are completely extra because I did cull the kit and pare it back. Dear Lizzie, Pink Fresh, more Pink Fresh, more Pink Fresh, Dear Lizzie, and Dear Lizzie. So, oh, this one maybe should have gone in with the cut apart one, because I think that's what I wanted this one for. So maybe that one doesn't count as a cheat. But anyway, it pretty much is Dear Lizzie, Cocoa Vanilla, and Pink Fresh. Okay, embellishment time. Okay, embellishments. Stamps. Now, this is hard. I don't usually, when a kit says stamps, pull stamps, because I don't know which stamps I'm going to use. It's going to depend very much on the layer. So I pulled a bunch. Now, this is how I normally store them, just in these plastic cases. And what I haven't done, which I usually do, is I get ATG and just run some tape there and there, and if they're too tall I just cut however much is an offcut, and at least that just holds them in place. You still sort of have to hold it down as you peel them off, but yeah, that's how they live. So just really general, generic sort of sentiments, images, whatever. So that's a Heidi swap. This one is, I'm not sure, what does it say on the spine? Kaisercraft apparently, called Polaroid. There you go. So that's Chamel's Sparkle City. That's Head in the Clouds, and that's a Paige Evans one. So they're good for just little, you know, dotting about the page, just little bits and pieces. Technique Tuesday. Random words, all kinds of random words, especially some slightly snarky ones up here, because let's be real, that's what's going to work for me. This one is a whole mishmash. It says it's Ellie's Studio and Pebbles, but I think there's more than that in there. I know that one's Chic Tags. Pretty sure that one is Ellie's Studio. This is Rad, I think. See, this one was stuck down with the ATG, so that stays nicely in place. The others, not so much. And that's a cat one that I don't think lives there. No, that's about chocolate. Yeah. Oh, how appropriate. And then just some lovey-dovey stuff, because I think I'm going to be scrapbooking some of my nieces. So yeah. And this one is a fairly recent acquisition, which is why it's not in a case yet. Another Heidi swap one. Some fairly general words. I think this is from Honey and Spice. Okay. Sequins is next. Again, I don't know what I'm going to, how my layouts are going to look. Don't know which ones are going to require sequins. So here's 4 packets from Spiegel Mum Scraps. A bit of every colour. That should cover every contingency. Washi tape. Dark pink, hot pink, light blue, sort of bordering on aqua. A red vintage. I have 2 like this, so I really need to use them, even though I kind of go because this is one of those Hambly ones. It still works. It still works. You just got to be gentle with it. And it looks like it's a kind of tiled or embroidery pattern. And this one, because I needed something in between a yellow and an orange. So there we go. That's those, guys. What is next? Family themed embellishments. Okay, so this is where I went through my die cuts and just pulled out a whole bunch of random stuff. Some of them are family-ish words, other ones are kind of lovey-dovey words. Yeah, there are a few random things that I know I'll use, like cameras and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot there. What is that? Ampersand. Hearts. Yes. There's a few options for hearts. These, yes, they do have sequins. I'm not counting them for sequins, but there are these hearts in colours that I think these other ones haven't really picked up on. So puffy ones, enamel ones, and these, what do you call these? I can't remember the name for them. Resin, that's it, resin. So yeah, and also there's a big round bit with holes for stitching, and that's in the shape of a heart and 3 little wooden hearts. So that definitely counts for hearts. And should I happen to use some sequins, well, it happens, and it probably will. Labels or tabs. So this is where that other piece of paper sort of came in. And again, this is sort of from die cuts. I didn't even look through everything, just whatever was in this big box that I hadn't put away. But yeah, colours go. But yeah, I think there's some tabs in there as well, floating around. I'm sure I had tabs. Oh well, I don't know where they are. Oh no, here. There we go, there's one. Mixed media, acrylic paint. Again, how am I supposed to know which colour I need? So, this is an example. I'm just going to pull them out where I go. There's normal acrylic paint. I'm not necessarily going to use these colours, but just the first thing that came out. Distress paint. These alchemy paints from Prima. They come in metallic, sparks, and opal magic finish. And the little shimmers sparkly paints, which I really, really like too. So yeah, they'll be just pulled as needed. Geometric stencil. This one, that's definitely geometric, right? Then there's this weird sort of twist on a chevron. Is that better? That's a bit better. Hexagons. And I'm going to declare that circles are geometric because I think they covered circles during geometry topic in maths back in the day when I was at school. So therefore, circles are going to be geometric as of today. Alphabets. A tile or smaller size. Okay. Tiles I pulled. Smaller size, see this container here, I'm going to have to move a few things. I hope the tripod's not going to come down because it does sort of support the leg. It's got a whole bunch there. Ones that sort of don't fit into the 12 by 12 page protectors that are split down the middle, or not split down the middle. I got plenty of those other long ones. So yeah. I usually just pull those when I need it. The other ones are just to my left in something that I definitely can't pull out easily. So I'm good with those. Tiled and an alphabet with a pattern on it. Right. I count these as tiled. They're not letter shaped. So round and white. Yeah, they were Dear Lizzie and they came in various colours. And I think Amy Tangerine had a couple as well. The other ones, I really struggle using these, so I'm going to challenge myself. I have used them once or twice. Yeah, and then the patterned ones. These ones have got a faux stitching pattern. And yeah, I really love that font. That's an Amy Tangerine one. I think from her first collection even, possibly. From Chamel's Little by Little. Again, I really, for some reason, I have a hard time using these multicoloured ones because whatever word I seem to want to spell doesn't have the letter in the right colour. And these, then I wanted something glittery. They have a very faint sort of dark pink on pale pink sort of newspaper pattern, newsprint pattern, and then like a clear, almost like it almost looks like sugar crystals, glitter packed on top. So that is the recipe kit, but you didn't think I was going to stop there, did you? I do have a few kind of cheat items, just a few buttons and brads. These were mainly pulled out from CKC kits that I haven't really dismantled and put away. There might even be a few puffy hearts in there too. Resin flowers, they're even coming up off their glue dots and moving around. They need to go on a page. These Maggie Holmes embellishments. there weren't any stickers. So there's word stickers. I put these in, I think, before I remembered that the Cocoa Vanilla ones came with words. Lots of words and images too, which is good. Because that kind of feels weird, not having stickers. Puffy words. And these ones, which I always struggle to use because I don't know why, I just do. They just seem too big for embellishments and I can never manage to work them into a title. But I'm going to try. Different puffy things I'm definitely going to try and do. Don't you love that? I'm definitely going to try to incorporate something from here into a title. And they've got hearts. So that could really count as hearts and not a cheat. Just saying. And then die cuts and more die cuts. These ones are ones I haven't opened. Now, they could possibly maybe count as family while not being formally family ones. I'm sure there's something that would sort of work with that, and then that could technically not count as a cheat. So yeah, that's about it. It's always the embellishments where I tend to fall off the wagon a bit and lose the plot. But anyway, this kit is supposed to cover 4 different layouts, which we will be bringing to you over the course of the month, so stay tuned. I believe it will be every Monday, and I kind of need this much variety if I'm going to be working mainly from this for 4 different layouts. If I do have to go back into my stash, so be it. The point is there's a story that on a finished layout that's going to go in the book, and that is what it's all about. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back and see what I make. Bye!